Hey, my name is Alan Patrick. I wanted to take the time, and I thank you for your time, to show you Project Aurora. It's a system that I've developed recently, and I wanted to let you see what it's about. Let's share my screen. Okay, so Project Aurora is a multi-tool data management system, tracking system, communication system. It's literally a system that will able to bring light and better data to the EOS team. So one of the things that we can look at is first section is a search function. So this actually searches all the specific parts of this tool, including the features, the tools, help files. This tool is to be built to be user friendly. So let's go to one of the first tools. Let's talk about the uh, production tracker. So this is the display view of the production tracker. As you can see, it shows the current shift. This, depending upon what time it is, either states the next break time or the end of shift. It gives us current time. It has a time-based tracking system where these goals, they're automatically manually inputted, but they're not raw data trackers. These trackers are based upon whether or not the system, it calculates that if we were to continue at a specific rate, we would make it to the goal by the specific time. That's the purpose of this. That's done in the dashboard. So for instance, if I were to change this to maybe 45 and add a note, this would be able to show what's actually happening in the time frame that's going on there. The other great thing that this does is we can provide certain types of messages. This is one of the things that we say a lot here, to tell all the team to go to the BBT. This, we could call it an urgent message. And so this is what an urgent message looks like right here. Um, let's say we have a safety issue. Well, we could communicate that also. The idea is that this would be up on the main screen, allowing the team to be able to see what is actually happening real time and be able to get this information from the supervisor. Additionally, beyond that, we also can add things like these great motivating banners here. These types of banners are used to motivate our teams to display real-time information to the team. Great thing that we can also do is, for instance, we at the end of the shift, we could launch a celebration, shift goals met. We can do a various of things right here. Anyways, these are just certain things that to display to help the team go. Right here is actually a predictive tracker where it actually utilizes AI based upon where we're at, to be able to calculate what our production potential yields are, and what. It also has an analytics section. This section is used to be able to take, as after every single day, these logs are saved, and then they can be looked at back at. Reports can be ran, and data can be analyzed holistically. The purpose of this is to provide real-time production display. Um, It has analytics that help us track our KPIs, and it allows communication. We can send messages, we can celebrate. I believe that those things boost morale and ultimately production. The idea is that rather than this to be tracked manually, that full automation, utilizing the next tool that I'm about to show, will allow this data to be automatically updated. And that's where the trade tracker comes in. The trade tracker is this is the dashboard. It would be able to give you a real-time description of where things are, and this is based upon actual batteries being scanned into the system. We scan batteries anyways. We scan batteries in and out, so this would utilize that same backend that Quality is currently using. Here is actually an updated way that we can actually scan batteries to a specific tray. We would scan the tray barcode, then scan the battery barcode, and we can scan those things into a specific tray. Once we have a tray, we can actually load a tray. We can load a tray to any racks, or we can load them to a specific cube. This is a cube select right here. As you can see, it shows the cube, and it also showed the point of process that cube's in, whether we're building it up or is ready to be reviewed by the cube assembly team and whatnot. The beauty of all of this is these can be added. We also have this rework where we can actually show instructions of how to log and track our rework. Here's the back end. The back end, if we wanted to utilize users signing into this system, we could do that. This is where we're able to track and manage the actual racking system. We can add racks, make them available. This is the status based upon the real-time tracking. And this is also where we can manage the actual locations where things are being scanned. The beautiful thing of this is fully expandable. So this can be expanded not only within the current system, but to any other system, the new facility and whatnot. Purpose of this was that it was to do two things. Number one, to allow more flexibility. In the past, we would have, let's say damaged trays or trays that are being held up for one reason or the other. Well, this allows that to not be the case. We would not have to have a one-on-one tracking. But the other side of this is it provides complete traceability. So whether we want to utilize it or not, we have the ability to trace a battery through its entire life cycle. From the point, the idea is that this system can track it from its creation in 700 through its input into a specific cube and its life out in the field. Or let's say it gets put into scrap. The beauty of this is that we would know exactly what batteries and what tray at any given point and be able to trace that. The other thing is these two tools that we're talking about, this and the production tracker, were built from the ground up with input from the teams on the floor. Some of these features were built into here because the teams said that they would be able to make their work more efficient and more productive. I'm going to go back to this shift management tool. This tool is for a supervisor to be able to track their daily work. They will be able to record live what they're doing. There's different types of shifts types. Based upon that, we can also input, the dates. These logs can be entered and time stamped, and they can also be emailed. The supervisor is able to track their daily staffing with their employees, and also track them during their break times. The beautiful thing for this is not only a tool for the supervisor's use, but this is live. So a manager can know exactly what's happening on during their supervisor shift. They can know, moment by moment, they get these, be able to see these logs for what they were, and it doesn't clog down other communications that may need to be utilized for other things. This is a perfect visibility tool that can be remotely viewed. There's also the personnel and skills matrix. Those are pretty self-explanatory. The idea is that you would be able to track your entire personnel roster, including their job titles, contact information, shift assignments. It's a better workday. I felt that while Workday is useful and it's our main system that we have to utilize, I've noticed that most supervisors were also keeping their own manual process of the roster simply because the Workday system wasn't ideal. So this is improvement on that. This allows that supervisor to be able to input it in a digital tracking system, track their skills matrix. This is another tool that I saw some of the supervisors building out for their teams. Well, this will allow us to be able to look at that, and it will allow the management team to be able to look at all the supervisors' personnel, their skill matrix, and everything. This allows for improved accountability, data-driven insights, and operational efficiency. So looking at the next set of tool is the BBT visualizer. So the BBT visualizer came out of an ask of requests to brainstorm how to make the BBTs flip more quicker. And I realized that there were certain things that we were removing, but one of the things that remained to be a bottleneck was the attaching of scrap tags. That seemed to be, depending upon the familiarity of the people doing this, an issue. So as you can see, this is representation of the BBT. If you were looking at it from control desk, these right here will be the aisles in between, and these are the shelves. As you can see, we have certain views. We can look at entire side of view. We can look at the entire stand, and we can actually look at individual substrings. Okay, but that's not the main part of this. But I believe this is great in and of itself. This provides a map. The best part of this is we can take an email scrap list that is made by our cycling techs and upload it into the system. So let's take a look at this. So here's a typical scrap list. As you can see, typically it says, how many scraps, but this is what the list looks like. It's a count of what is here and identification of what needs to be scrapped. So let's submit this to the tool. Okay, so while this is going to take a moment because it's actually reviewing and digesting the entire list, I just wanted to briefly continue to talk about just Aurora as a whole. This whole set of tools is to have better data so that better decision making can be made. We know that removing things that aren't clear allows us to have better, clear, better responses to things. As you can see now, every single one of these batteries, there actually was a note stating that 102, so that confirms that what was on that list has been notated. And just as it has it in these views, we also can look at the same data in the other views. The bottom line is that we can have this information given to even a production tech that might not be aware of how the BBT is listed. Sometimes, these batteries are listed in opposite orders and strange listing. But this right here would allow them to be able to look at it for what it is, and then determine what specific batteries need to be rectified. They can be printed and passed out so that the team can attack this job together, which will make it a lot more efficient. So this is what it is: reduce search time, improve accuracy, enhance workflow. That's what this is about. I'm going to now show you the help files. Help files, yet again, is another searchable database. It provides information about the tools in this system, ideas of what to do. It also provides a glossary of terms based upon, we can put our most used acronyms and other information here. This is a great place for us to include information for new hires, to be able to look at and gain knowledge a lot quicker. As you can see right here, there's actually even a place where this is like wiki-like. So these suggestions are reviewed by a determined administrator, but the idea is that anybody utilizing this tool can add information to this, submit a revision, and it can be added to the overall knowledge base of the team, which is one of the biggest things necessary to for everyone to grow together. Additionally, a future state of this could be, in addition to these help files that are for this tool use, I'm envisioning the ability to have this as a portal to even our work instructions that are held in our IMS. The beautiful thing about having it as a portal and not as a place of retainment is the IMS continues to be the protected single point and truth. And this would allow you to be able to see those work instructions and connect them back to some of these abilities. So this is something that I believe would be a great addition to this. One of the things is that IT had given me the permission to build this via Firebase Studios. And I know that we were starting to work with another quality engineer to but discuss ways to connect this to other systems. So that leads me to just, what is this project all about? Well, why is it called Aurora? Well, we know that Aurora is yet another name for the daybreaker to dawn. Okay. Project was named Aurora because its mission is to bring light and clarity to our production data. Just as the dawn illuminates the world and chases away those shadows, Project Aurora eliminates our game of truth, removing blind spots in our processes. By seeing our data clearly, we can be more predictive and less reactive. It gives and empowers our teams, our works, our leaders to be able to make better decisions. And most importantly, it helps EOS as a whole to fulfill our core mission, which is to bring light and energy to the world. I'm a Lean Six Sigma black belt, and so one of the biggest things is you need to get rid of waste. That's one of the biggest things that Lean preaches. So having a high-speed manufacturing environment needs to have a real-time data management system, and so that's why I designed this. Likewise, it allows us to make the better decisions. Recently, decision was made that I believe was made from bad data, unclear data. And unfortunately, whenever we have unclear data, we make the best decisions that we have at that time. But I believe that things like this would have made decisions, understanding production yields, understanding true efficiencies of teams and whatnot better. So it's for three things or more. Well, it's for all of us, but this is for the production teams, it's for the supervisors, it's for the senior leadership. Provide senior leadership a live, boots on the ground view of what's actually happening. No more wondering, what is the point of this number right here? Raw data numbers are useful, but it's better to have a real-time, informative, holistic view of what's happening that can lead to more informed decisions. This platform is not a demo. It was actually already began to be piloted, the production tracker with great success on the teams, on the floor. Began meeting with the quality engineer who was working on tray related improvements, and we were partnering to bring this as the front end of what he had as the back end. One of the things that we had already started to work on that. So as I talk about this right here, I also want to take a moment just to kind of talk to you about myself. I believe that I bring a very unique skill set to EOS, and I believe that it aligns with EOS's high-tech, high-growth mission. I'm not just a mechanical engineer who's been working in the field for 19 years. I'm not just a continuous improvement with a Lean Sigma black belt, Six Sigma black belt. But I've managed quality, I've managed safety, and I've also managed training. I know while having data is important, documentation is critical, but I'm also an AI systems implementer. I have been an AI consultant. I've actually worked with multi-million-dollar corporations, including Samsung, to architect and deploy AI-driven solutions like this right here. One of the things that I wanted to state is that as a Six Sigma black belt, data talks, statistics talks, and it cuts through the noise. And what I realized is that there's a lot of noise, and yet when I took the data and went through the actual numbers, that my D shift was statistically identical to production of the other night shift. That's what this is all about. This is what a Six Sigma black belt brings to the table. I didn't allow the noise of non-data. I went straight to the facts and did a statistical analysis of what was happening, and this is what it is. So this is just a real life version of what that data analysis level of competence can do. Specifically, I just want to state it, I sought this role because I wanted to be, in the midst of the Gemba. I believe that the best way to see where the bottlenecks are is being in the heart of it, and that's what I did. I led my team to statistically have the same production as the other teams that we're putting out, and not only that, but objectively. And I have documentation that talks about this further analysis. My team was objectively much lighter than the other teams, but yet through leadership and systems and things that were implemented, we were still capable and able to deliver the same as everybody else. And that's what the data says. I desire to continue to bring this type of true data spirit and Gemba philosophy continuing at EOS. I mean, this was built for EOS. I mean, there's nothing I could do with this. This was for the team. And lastly, and this is one of the things I'm most excited about, is this right here. This blank spot right here is what I want to really build out. Utilizing my understanding of manufacturing, my statistical background, and my AI background. What I want to do, with permission, is be able to build out this. It would be a holistic data AI production planner. It would take all the data that's found in here, data coming in from other sources such as our Power BI quality dashboards, our Unity systems that are showing information about our status, and be able to process that on a dedicated on-site server. I mean, this is not something that would need to be on a cloud. This would need to be protected, but that's something that need to be worked with IT. But the bottom line is, from that information, we could be able to do it will allow us to be able to do predictive yields. And one of the most important things that I think is be able to predict and be able to proactively mitigate risks before they happen. This would drive data-driven decision-making, improve efficiency, and increase uptime. So this is what Project Aurora is all about. I thank you all for your time, and I hope that you have a great day.